Hello, I'm Evgenia, I'm 44, and in the past year I've been trying to build a business, having quit permanent full-time employment. And in this video I wanted to share my learnings and what I wish I knew 15 months ago when I had just handed in my resignation and I was full of ideas and hopes and dreams of building my own thing. And now, fast forward 15 months, I am still building something, but I'm now rethinking a lot of things, and I wish I knew the things that I'm going to share with you in this video. I wish somebody had told me then. So I'm a former doctor and I left clinical practice in 2013, and since then I've had a few careers and I'm constantly soul searching, constantly trying out new things. I guess ADHD has something to do with this, but I'm essentially what I would identify as a misfit. It always has felt for me that I don't really belong in a corporate environment or in a clinical environment when I was a doctor, and I've always had that desire to build something of my own. And I've had business coaches, I've been in business mentoring programs and communities, and really what has recently occurred to me is, even though I've managed to earn around £15,000 in the past years through my new business, it's been a matter of digging the wrong rabbit hole, digging down the wrong rabbit hole in the past year. And it's to do with not defining the problem that I want to be solving for my ideal audience, and or not researching my ideal audience well enough in the first place. So what happened was I wanted to leave employment so badly that I latched on to the first great idea that I had, and I have these ideas coming up pretty much every day. Again, something to do with my ADHD brain. Every morning is a new idea, and at the time when I wanted to resign, I was desperately looking for business ideas, and I happened to be at this event for doctors where there was a big revelation for the doctors and for myself that there are not enough credible clinical voices online, especially on video-based platforms like YouTube. And I thought, well, I've run a few YouTube channels myself over the past 5 years. I'm going to help doctors get on YouTube. And I fell in love with that idea and that solution without really thinking about what the actual problem I'm trying to solve and for whom. It sounded simple enough for me that doctors need to be on YouTube, at the very least to share health education with the patients. And I thought, I'm going to be the one teaching them how to do it. And then what happened when I started having conversations with doctors, before I even started offering anything, I started having conversations, which was the first few months last year. And it seemed like quite a few doctors were sitting on the fence about it, because it's a highly regulated profession and doctors don't really like to be in the spotlight. So I was finding myself trying to convince them that they should be on YouTube and they should be producing videos to relate, to build trust with their patients, and it just wasn't really landing with the doctors, yet I persevered. And then eventually I thought I pinned down my target audience to private doctors or doctors with a private practice. And I thought, great, they are the ones who really get it. They know that they need to be visible on social media, so I'm going to be helping them. And I did land a few consultation appointments, paid consultations. So that felt really great, and that felt like I had validated my business idea. But in reality, the numbers were very small, and their pain was not significant or urgent enough to create a real, tangible, or scalable business from that. Interestingly, about 6 months into all that market research and soul searching and posting fairly regularly on LinkedIn about my beliefs that doctors should be on social media and on video in particular, somebody reached out to me and said that they are a clinic owner and would I help them with their video visibility strategy. And I was like, yes, sure. And I actually managed to land a client on a retainer basis, which felt great, although that wasn't what I wanted to do. But I didn't feel I was in a position to decline a paid, quite a well-paid offer. Every month, I would research topics for that doctor. I would write scripts. I would go to the clinic with my teleprompter and my filming kit. This particular camera I'm filming on right now is a Canon camera, and my lighting system. And I would film that doctor as they read the script of the teleprompter. Then I would liaise with the video editors to create videos for that doctor, and I would upload the videos to their YouTube channel. So I basically became a media manager or YouTube manager for that doctor, which seemed exciting in the beginning, but then as the time went by, it was more and more demoralizing, because from a consultant / advisor that I wanted to position myself as, I became a service provider. Not only a service provider, but also somebody who had ideas and wanted to make it better for the client, but the client was not open to those ideas. So I felt like my expertise didn't really matter. I was just a body to do the work. So that went on for a few months, and I then came across this thing that I wanted to share with you, that I wish somebody shared with me, or I came across earlier. And it's essentially about why people buy and how to validate whether the problem you are going to be solving is actually worth solving. So this is something that for you as an early stage solopreneur will be useful before you start digging down the wrong rabbit hole. And what it comes down to is there are 4 reasons why people buy. And I'll tell you the reason why I ended up in this situation that I don't really have a viable business is because I chose something that is nice to have. That's one of the reasons people buy. It's a service or a product that is nice to have, so it's essentially a want or a desire versus a real pain or need that must be solved. So first of all, there is the highest reason, the best reason why people buy, where your business can be successful and scale is when there is a real need, a real demand, and that problem or need is urgent. And people are aware that they have that need or problem and they want to get it solved urgently. For example, a broken tooth, right? So I'm going to give you these analogies as I go. So the second layer is that desire or want, which was where I came in with my offer of video visibility for doctors, or strategic video visibility and consulting busy doctors who don't really have time for this. And it's essentially something that is nice to have, so more like a vitamin rather than a painkiller. Or another analogy would be painful gums rather than a broken tooth. So painful gum is something that you can live with, but you might feel that you're too busy to go to a dentist. And this desire or want category is where you create your solution, your service or product creates an improvement or a better satisfaction, but doesn't really change something for your target audience in a transformational way as that first category of need or pain would do. And then the third category is luxury. So let's say it's veneers or teeth whitening. And this is something that is very nice to have. So you have the need, must have, then you have the desire or want, which is nice to have, and then you have luxury, which is very nice to have. And it offers a risk reduction or adversity prevention, or it's a kind of peace of mind, or it's a pure aesthetic solution. So this is something, this third category is something that people do buy, but they need to be at a certain level with their comfort and their kind of basic needs already met before they can become a buyer of your services or products if you're in that category. And then lastly, don't underestimate this, that people also buy because they believe in what you believe in. All right, so this is not anything specific to your product or service, but it's a separate layer that can apply to any of the previously described three categories. If they believe in what you believe in, then you kind of have that extra trust from your audience that gives a little push to be doing business with you. So in my case, I was offering a service in the desire/want category, where doctors didn't really feel the need, because many of them said, yes, I'm in private practice, but I have word of mouth working for me, or I have an agency already optimizing my website for SEO. So being on social media, especially on video, feels like a lot of work, and many doctors are fearful, especially here in the UK, they're fearful of visibility because of the regulatory and medical legal implications. So there was a lot of pushback. So I ended up trying to convince people that they have a problem that they didn't believe they had, and therefore there was not enough demand. And this is my revelation that I wanted to share today. I'm going to share many more revelations, and I'm going to be sharing things that I wish I knew 12-15 months ago, because I feel I'm 1 or 2 steps ahead. I'm still in the early stages of solopreneurship, and hopefully these revelations and insights can help somebody on their journey towards solopreneurship, especially over 40. I'll see you soon. Bye.